Welcome to Kaizen Time, part of the Blood, Sweat, and Business podcast, where we provide constant improvement to businesses through timely, actionable financial solutions. Do you want answers to your financial questions? Email us at bsb@kaizencpas.com. I'm your host, Mark Valesky. Now let's get started. Welcome to another episode of Kaizen Time. I'm joined by Brian Bride, Director of Payroll Operations. Brian, how often do you get paid?
Here we get paid twice a month.
It's kind of weird, too, isn't it? Because it falls on whatever every couple days into the month.
Yeah, it's not like the most uncommon pay frequency, but weekly and biweekly are usually the more common. But yeah, semi-monthly, can be tough sometimes for hourly employees.
Well, it's sometimes confusing, right?
Right.
Because if you don't understand the system and bills, however they come in, they always come in at the same time, roughly per month. So, which doesn't always correlate with
Payday.
With payday.
Yep.
Yes. So, I understand there's this new system that's out that kind of helps employees, and it's something employers can offer.
Yeah, absolutely. It's pretty popular. If you walk into any kind of restaurant, fast food, even like quick service restaurants, you might see a sign on the door that says "Work today, get paid tomorrow." That's what this is. It's called earned wage access. It's a way to get access to money that you've earned and your check date hasn't happened.
That sounds wild. So, how does this
Sure.
really work on the back end?
Absolutely. So, yeah, you think, oh, they don't enough for their check. Their check's going to be zero. That's not the case. You're allowed to take a certain percentage of your pay that you make. So some systems are set up where if you have a time clock, they know how many hours exactly you've worked, and that gets flown over every day to the app that you borrow the money from. And then, or it's set up where, it's based on your check, right? So if you're a salary employee, the system knows, oh, you make this much salary, or if you're hourly, it'll take your last 5 to 10 checks and give you an average so that you're not stuck with taxes or having a zero check at the end. If you get paid every 2 weeks, it's not going to allow you to take all your pay in the first week and be, negative when it comes through. So that's something definitely to concern about is taxes. Taxes are due on the check dates. So if you're getting paid earlier, that's always a concern, but you're not allowed all of your wages. You can't take the whole amount. You can only take the amount that would be like your take home.
Okay. So, and they kind of understand that especially when you're doing payroll, you're kind of aware like, oh, this is how much it would be for your 2 week salary versus 1 day, whatever.
Yeah, especially, you're a salary employee, you know what your take home pay is. Even if you're hourly, about, I work 20 hours, I know about what my pay is probably this amount. So then you're able to take some.
So again, this seems kind of new. Like, is this something that just came out, or has this been out in a while?
So it's been, it's been an industry for a while. But with the advent of APIs and, they're really like trying to attract employees, right? Even though, the economy is kind of up or down depending on where you're at. Attracting talent is still a really tough thing. So this is something that business owners have started to give out more to retain employees. Especially a higher industry like a restaurant where you have a high turnover. A lot of times it's access to cash or the amount of money you're getting paid. Able to access your, the wages you earned already in order to cover costs is really, really important to your mental health, your well-being, and your ability to continue working. So that's really good. But we've started it here at YPD. It's pretty new for us, but like I said, it's been in the industry for a little bit.
And what industries would you say you're finding to do this most commonly besides your restaurants?
Yeah, so food? Restaurants, any kind of hourly workers. So, if you have a factory that's hourly, manufacturing, even medical services, right? Maybe
really medical.
Yeah. Maybe nurses that work, 3 days on, 3 days off, whatever. And so they're
makes sense with their weird schedules.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything that's kind of not a very set schedule, but you're working enough so that you know how much money that you're making.
Okay. Well, yeah. And getting back to nurses, you think to yourself, hey, okay, it's Christmas time, right? You can need a bunch of gifts. Hey, I just worked 3 12-hour shifts and I have a couple days and then before a normal 2 week pay period, but this is when I need to go to be able to shop to get our gifts, right? So I can see that being rather convenient. So again, this all sounds great. Is there any negatives to this?
Not really negatives. There is a cost involved. So if the employer normally don't bear the cost. Most programs are set up that the employee that's getting their wages pays a small fee. Usually they cover the transfer amounts for that and some of the risk. But, think about, like, let's say you have a bill come up unexpectedly, you have to pay it. Maybe you have to use your overdraft in your bank. It's way less than overdraft fee. I can guarantee you that much. So
is it proportional to the amount being taken out, or is it just a flat?
Generally, it's a flat fee.
Oh, nice.
So, if you need a couple $100 or even if, $20, right, you're still paying the kind of fee.
What are we looking for? What are we looking at for this transaction fee? A couple bucks?
Most of them are $5 or less.
Yeah, that sounds great. Yeah, especially when you talk about like, as opposed to overdrafting or anything like that. Yeah, that's a huge savings.
Yeah. Yeah, and if you got to get to work, right, or you got a flat tire, right, and a lot of people can't cover $400 in expenses. You see that out there. In the work.
It's the surprise expenses that get you all the time, right? And or even if you're used to taking public transportation, or you just need to get one, need to get on public transportation in a pinch, that seems really viable. Yeah. How quick is this though?
Oh, it's really quick. So if if you work, today, you get paid tomorrow. Usually the transfers are sometimes they're overnights, or sometimes they're day of. So let's say you've worked for you have a 2-week pay period. Let's say you work for a week and you really need money on that Monday. You can't wait till the Friday. If you request it on Monday, you probably have your bank account Tuesday morning.
Okay, so this isn't like I can say I want this in my account in an hour. It's something that's kind of got to be planned at least. It
depends on the system. So if you have a Zelle, or you use we have a vendor. And if you use our vendor's debit cards, you can get it instantly.
Oh, wow.
Or if you have Zelle. So, yeah, it just depends on the system. So everyone's kind of works a little different.
Okay, and these are typically done through some type of app.
Yep,
okay.
So it's embedded in the app. The product that we use at YPD is embedded in the app. If you pull up your self-service app, it's right there. You can see it, and you can click on it and take a look at it and sign up for it or whatever and take a look.
And obviously, we're big fans of self-service here with YPD. So this all goes into that portal. They address everything themselves? Correct.
If you're the employer, you'll see it on you can have a dashboard. You can log in to see how your employees are using it. On our end, you can opt out anytime, and then it goes straight to payroll. So there's nothing you need to do. You see it doesn't cost you anything. You still have to pay those wages. They're earned wages. So if you have one employee and they took $50, you still pay that check to them, because that money gets sent to the earned wage access vendor. Automatically in the background, you don't have to worry about anything. It gets ACH, the money comes to us, and then we send it to them, and it's all done.
Interesting. Is there anything else that you actually want to talk about specifically for this? Because this seems very straightforward.
Yeah. So I really, we ran a program with our clients. We had a few opt out, which is fine. But I'd really think about taking us up on this offer. If it's not working, you can always turn it off. We haven't really advertised it. It's been kind of organic, and because people go to their app and they see it, like the self-service thing. So I know, like in the first week we launched it, we without even telling anybody, we had a couple people take us up on the offer. So it's something that, even though if your employers aren't coming to you saying, I need this, if it's available to them, they will use it.
And is there a cost, for example, if YPD was offering, is there a cost to the employer?
It's part of your package. There's no extra cost. Everybody gets it. It's just there for your use. Just included.
So really, there is no downside in many ways for at least the employers.
Right. For the employers, there's not a downside. And most employees that use this, they have used it at a different job, or they used it somewhere else before. They know exactly what is going on. So, you should trust your employees to handle their money, right?
And again, this goes through self-service. It is on them to be doing this.
Absolutely. You don't do anything. If they come and say, I need an advance, you say, well, check the app. Right. So, and then let that handle it. We have a couple clients that, do give advances to employees, and then trying to track that down, that's a lot of work. So this removes all of that.
Okay, cool. Anything else you want to add about earned wage access?
I think it's the future, honestly. I think
I think that's wild because we've been on the weekly, biweekly, annually, whatever system for years,
forever,
decades.
right?
Yeah, like it's always been this way,
right? And that's the thing. Like, and the reason why some of that is because we didn't have computers before, right? It was really, it's hey, I have to do work in batches, right? So I have to do my payroll on a batch. You don't need to do that anymore, right? Everything, is almost always instantaneous.
Yeah, I mean, people are clocking in, their hours that day.
Yeah. Especially like, I have a 16-year-old, he's going to enter the workforce. He has a bank account, but like, he cash apps his friends and stuff. Like he doesn't like the concept of waiting to get your check is a little outdated.
Yeah, no, I get you. All right. Thank you so much, Brian.
Yeah, thanks, Mark.
You've been listening to Kaizen Time, part of the Blood, Sweat, and Business podcast. If you like what you heard, subscribe and leave a 5-star review. This podcast has been brought to you by Kaizen CPAs Plus Advisors, providing advisory and accounting services to help you grow your business. Learn more at kaizencpas.com or email us at bsb@kaizencpas.com.